Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 131 today, and as promised, we've waited until January to come back. We faced TNS in a top two clash in the Welsh Premier League, the final game before the league splits, and in Barrytown United in a final of the League Cup in Wales. A chance for them to win a trophy. If you're looking forward to seeing that, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 videos from two long-term stories. We're in the final stretch of our head coach save now. You can see the latest playlist up in the eye above, where there's also links to the Twitch channel, the new food channel too, and plenty more. So please do give us a follow over there if you haven't already. It does make a big difference. But today, we've got not just Welsh football to look at, but also a transfer window, a youth intake preview, and Bangor City's coefficient. So let's go and get cracking. Let's start by having a look at the schedule to see what's happened since you were last with me. We were here for that brilliant 3-1 win against Salzburg, which remarkably put us in the last 16 of the Champions League. Then, a disappointing 0-0 draw against Colwyn Bay. Since then, though, we've had largely easy opposition, and we've made light work of it. Firstly, against Mould Alex, it was a 4-0 victory. 2 for Goulding, 1 for McKinnon, 1 for Malone. A late red card before the fourth. A 6-0 win against lower league opposition in the Welsh Cup. That was Goulding's brace of penalties. Vale, McKenzie, Weaver and Walters with one each. Then, possibly, the best result of the series. With 20 minutes gone away at Lazio, we were 1-0 down. Don't forget, they were trying to win to stay in the Europa League after Christmas. Chris Broom got sent off immediately after, and then we still came back and equalised and hung on. Yes, they dominated us. Yes, we had to defend very, very well. But Ewan McKinnon got us the goal, and we drew away at Lazio, even more crucial for the coefficient. We followed that up with 5 successive clean sheets, 4-0 victory away at Swansea Uni, 2 for Walters, 1 for McKinnon, 1 for Lloyd. 6-0 away at Haverfordwest, really having a tough season. A Bulkley hat-trick, 2 for Gordon and 1 for McKinnon. 4-0 in the first of 2 games in a row against Llandudno. Broom, a Walters brace and Gwyn Morgan. Before just a 2-0 victory at home with a rotated side. McKinnon and Strom getting those ones. And then into January, a 5-0 win in the League Cup semi-final. A Gordon hat-trick, 1 for Morgan and 1 for the youngster Tom Jones. And I didn't realise a couple of benefits off the pitch too. So let's start, because we're 7 days in now, by having a look at the Welsh transfer window. Because that is something that we've got to keep an eye on this year. If we have a look at what's been happening this month, it's very little so far in truth, but there are some potential deals going on. One of our former youngsters, Alan B, has joined Colwyn Bay, a really good young striker, and Kai Price has gone on a free from Bala to Llandudno, a side where he can potentially make more of a difference near the top. We've obviously sold David Robson, that was agreed months ago. But all in all, it's looking okay, and there's a few more bigger deals in the month that might well set the world alight. We'll come back to those in the next episode if we need to. We'll have a look at our youth intake between the 2 games, but let's go to the European coefficient. We've spent so much of the last 2 years on this screen, and now I'm getting excited. Because what I didn't realise, and I completely forgot about, is when you get through to the Champions League last 16, as a club you get 5 bonus coefficient points, which means that 1.25, because it's divided by the number of teams that are participating in Europe. Here we've got 4. So here, Wales have gained 1.25 points to the coefficient just from us getting to the last 16. They gain another quarter of a point for us getting a draw against Lazio, and that takes us for the year up to 6.5. Now, if we have a look at what this means for the nation, it's an awful lot better. For those worried about Northern Ireland, the Czech Republic, and even Cyprus below us catching us, those fears are gone now. We're a good 2.5, 3 points ahead of most of those. So unless someone goes on and wins the Europa League or conference from those nations, they're not going to catch us. The only one I'm a little bit wary of is Serbia, because they're still going quite strong. But otherwise, we haven't got to worry. In terms of above us, though, this is where we can start to get excited. Denmark's still ahead, yes. We're not going to worry about that for now. We are miles clear of Croatia, even further clear of Switzerland. And also now, if you look at us on 28.25, we've jumped Belgium, which could be a big moment too. If we go up to 14th rather than 15th, doesn't necessarily change much immediately, other than we go into a later round of the Champions League, which of course is always going to be beneficial for us. But if we go up a couple more places, we're then talking about guaranteed Champions League football almost. And certainly in terms of the Europa League, helping out a 3rd and a 4th side yet further. When we get to 12th place, the third place side gets into the Europa League playoff. That's guaranteed group stage football. We can't ask for much more than this. I'm starting to get really excited. So that should almost certainly happen this year now. If we have a look at the draw, you've seen it already. We aren't going any further in the Champions League. We've got Real Madrid in the last 16. What a draw though. What a moment for the football club. And I think we just have to enjoy it. The Linfield games be delayed again, so the SPFL Trust Trophy is taking ages. But let's go and get into our first match of the day. Then we'll look at the youth intake preview between the two matches. TNS in the league, they're 14 points behind. They are very much second best, but they are much better than the rest as well. And if next season they only need one win in qualifying to get into the group stages, that $2.5 million for the Europa Conference, and if they can pick up a few points, will surely make them a more attractive proposition. We're getting 2,500 through the gate. We're going to get our first team back in for the match. Let's go and confirm our 11, and we'll run through it in a second. Of course, there are a couple of little negatives at the moment. We're into the January transfer window now, which means, yes, other clubs can improve, but also means we're getting a sea of offers for ours. And one of them, Harvey Lloyd, has thrown his toys out the pram. Malone, though, did end his unhappiness and has signed a new deal as a squad player, so we're pleased with that. And I'm having to start Weaver ahead of Matai, because Weaver's thrown his toys out the pram a bit, and we promised him we'll give him a bit of football. So we've done 3 of the last 4 games. He'll play this one as well, and then Matai's back for the cup final. So what it means in total for today, Chris Broom has got a knock as well. So Strom's in centre midfield as another youngster. We've got Simoncast between the sticks, McDonald and Weaver as fullback, Kelly and Whittaker at centre half. We've got Lloyd, Reyes, Strom and Bulkley, the midfield diamond. With Gordon and Walters up front, both starting to find form again. McKinnon getting a rest because he's got a very heavy match load. But there's still plenty of quality on the bench. So let's go and get into it. It's first v second. And a win, even at this stage, all but wraps up the title. And here we go. Kean Burgess, our former youngster, still on the bench. There's a few others down there too. But it is a decent side. It's still not bad. It still needs improvement. But they've got some quality in there. And they're definitely the next best team in the league. I just want them to keep improving with 1 or 2 permanent additions every year that are going to strengthen them. If we get to the group stages, and so do they, maybe they'll be able to nick a few of our backups. I just don't know. So let's get through the tunnel interview. We've told the lads to give as good as they can. And hopefully we can just make this a comfortable day. We'd like to get the title wrapped up early on. Then we can focus on all the other big competitions. And very early doors, we've got a free kick on the right wing. Bulkley puts a dangerous one in. Little bit too close to Lufra. He comes and claims it very well, in fairness. Really strong, really commanding. And he took everything with him. Though the distribution is not great. Yes, he's aiming for an area, and it's a safe one. But Whittaker's there unopposed. As Simancas plays it out to McDonald. Into midfield for Strom. Has now overtaken Malone as third choice. He's really developing in training. He's the best one at the club every week. And I can't wait to see him reach his peak. As Strom finds Weaver. Out on the left-hand side. Can take on his man. Got to prove he's worth his place in the 11. So it's back to Reyes and now Harvey Lloyd. Will someone take the chance? Play that through ball. Try and penetrate the defensive line. It's Harvey Lloyd who does. Weaver gets in behind. And he cuts it back to Kane Walters. Not had his best season by any stretch. Has maybe been threatened for the first team this year. But he got there and he made sure he passed it in comfortably. And now it's 1-0 to Bangor City. Just 10 minutes on the clock. It's a perfect start as the header's into Whittaker. Sorry, the cross was into Whittaker. Headed over the bar. Really good opportunity gone. Well, just over 20 gone. We've got a little injury concern here for Kai McDonald. He said he's got a gashed upper leg, but we'll try and get him to half-time because we've got a week off after anyway, and then we'll go and make a change. The problem with TNS at the moment is they're still playing this 5-4-1 with 2 holding midfielders against us. And yes, to an extent, it does sort of nullify us, and we don't have many big wins against them. But they could cause us a threat if they were at their best and they tried to attack us. And surely they don't play like this against everyone else. As Strom wins the ball back just inside his own half. Big through ball towards Walters. Tries to dink the keeper. He's got his confidence back. But that one was just over the bar. I will say for Kai McDonald this year, he has had a lot of mini injuries. We are trying to get him on loan again. The same for the other 2 as well. But I'm a little bit concerned about that side of things. We don't want to take chances, so he's going to be replaced by Gwyn Morgan just for the second half of this one. And let's go and get into it. 1-0 is the lead, and really, we'd quite like to extend that. Well, we've gone past the hour mark, and there's not a lot happening at all here. Bulkley's not had his best game, and he does have recurring injuries, so I'm just going to bring Tom Jones on. Gordon's had a poor game up front. Jack Vale will get a rare outing in the league. And we'll see how it pans out, as Harvey Lloyd's got a free kick on the right. into Whittaker, who heads over again. Got to be at least 3 times he's done that today. We could do with him getting in a better position and taking those chances. Maybe even get someone else there. As we've got a throw on the left with Weaver yet again. Hopefully he'll be happy with the increased first team football. A Strom flicks on. Jones loses out the first time. But the block's back to Reyes at the edge of the box. Assisted from Kane Walters. And Reyes, low drilled effort. The keeper just couldn't get down quick enough. 2-0, job done. Game over. The only thing we've got to watch now is the race for third, because Barry are 4 points behind Swansea Uni. Llandudno up there. Cardiff Met Uni got a few good players too. Aberystwyth and Colwyn Bay. Last season, they were third. They were a good side. They looked confident. And look at them now. They're fourth bottom and they look nowhere near. So unless they win a cup, which is unlikely with us about, Colwyn Bay will not have European football. It's a confident win for Bangor City. Back to the efficient 2-0 without being spectacular. And we'll be back in a week's time for the League Cup final. Barry Town United's chance to get the ball rolling. And hopefully some more excitement to look forward to. We're back for the final. There's no real changes on the injury front. But let's have a look at what we promised. Firstly, the youth intake preview from last month. Because if all goes to plan this year, we could have 1 or 2 good ones. So an update since we had the intake preview was this is not a great group of players, which we didn't have before. However, there are still a number of positives. 1 good midfielder, 1 good centre half and a number of good fullbacks. So potentially that's a really good thing for us. The strikers are below the standard, as are the wingers, the attacking midfielders and the wing-backs, and there's no defensive midfielders. But I'm not worried about that. If we can just get 1 or 2 good players, that's all we need. Don't forget, Bulkley came through in a year where the youth intake wasn't great. He was the only one who was top class and the rest were rubbish. If we can do that again, with a different position, then we could be very happy. Wouldn't mind if it was a left back or a centre half, given the last few years. So that's currently Bangor City situation. The Welsh transfer window is also starting to hot up. Loads of offers going in and out, and lots of players moving to clubs. TNS have signed this guy, Dukas Fernandos. Now, you might remember him. He was at Cardiff Met Uni a few years ago. He went to England to Brighton on a free agent deal. We did look at potentially signing him, but he's now come back to TNS. He's probably one of the best players outside of our club, and he's got real genuine ability in certain positions. So I'm hoping that he'll make a big difference to that side. Certainly if they get to European qualifiers next year, because he's on a deal until 2036. We can also see Aberystwyth are going big. They're trying to sign plenty of players. Cardiff Met Uni, again, got another good experienced player in the shape of Morgan Clark. Loads of years and games experience in English football. And surely that's a good thing for the nation. Llandudno improving as well. They're in that race for third, although their players there not quite as good. And Mould Alex, of course, going big, trying to avoid relegation, but I think that one might be in vain. So let's go and get into the cup final. It's the League Cup against Barry Town United. I mean, we haven't actually shown the final of this competition for a couple of years because it's been such easy going at times. Once we get past that first round scare, we're normally all right. So I'm going to bring Chris Broom back in for Strom, who's got a heavy match load. I'm going to bring McKinnon back in up front for Goulding, who had a poor game. And that's the other bit of good news we've got. Kai McDonald, Ruben Reyes, Ewan McKinnon, our 3 4-star players, all signed new deals. They're on loan for next season as well as this one. That gets me very excited. Let's have a look at who we can put on the bench today. The one striker will be Goulding. Of course, we only get 5 subs, so we've got to be careful here. Weaver will drop out for Matai. Then the bench will be Weaver, McKenzie, Malone. I don't really want to get Tom Jones in there because I want to protect him. I'd quite like to do the same with Bulkley in truth, but for the final, I don't feel like I can leave him out. We'll then go for John Price and Goulding as our 5. I don't think there's any more attacking options that help us. Just Matai, Broom and McKinnon into the side for the 3 changes. And we go and get into the League Cup final. Can Barry Town United cause a scare? Or will it be plain sailing as it so often has been? And here we go. Plenty of familiar names in this Barry Town United side. Former players from us include Alex Reid, Dean Rogers, Josh Thomas. Former players from TNS include Noah Daly, Ollie Ewing, Reese Heath. And then they've got the likes of Harry Gray and Josh Jenkins, who are top class too. It is probably the best side Barry Town United have had. I don't know why they've struggled so much this year. I did see a few games where they were trying to play Josh Thomas in centre mid, and he's still their best goal scorer. He's back up front now, and they are doing a bit better. but with the third place side getting into the Europa League and needing just one win to get European group stage football next year, I do genuinely hope it's Barrytown United, because they're the ones who could possibly do it. As Bulkley puts a corner kick into the box, Dean Rogers heads away. Kelly will chase it all the way back. And he's going to have to go all the way back to the keeper here, I think, is he? No, he turns. He takes on his man. He's charging down the right wing now. Gives it to Chris Broom. He goes up to Bulkley. Plays a 1-2 off the defender. Walters through to Ewan McKinnon. That is just too good for Barrytown United. Ewan McKinnon scores. He's found form again now. And we lead in the Welsh League Cup final. Looks like it's going to be a good day. As Bulkley takes a free kick. It is stunning. Absolutely brilliant from 30 yards. Kyo Bulkley with the goal. 2-0 Bangor City. And that's the cup final won. Barrytown United just not close enough to us. As Whittaker's got a free kick just inside his own half. Still not even 20 minutes on the clock yet. And with 2 chances, we've scored 2 goals. As Matai gets it on the left. Gets towards the byline. Back in the team today. Delivers for Kyo Bulkley. Big game players deliver big game performances. Bulkley did it against Salzburg in the last episode to get us through in the Champions League. And he's doing it today to win us a cup final. He is special, that kid. And there it is at half time. We've dominated the possession. 5 shots on target, 3 goals, a ruthless edge. So we're going to get the boys to prove a point. And if it stays like this at the hour mark, we can then rest the likes of Bulkley and Reyes and make sure that they're completely fit for the big games coming up. And make sure that we give other people a chance. It's been a really good performance. So as we get towards the 65-minute mark, I know he's on a hat-trick, he won't be happy. But Bulkley is going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Patrick Malone. Broom will go into the number 10 position. We'll then also make sure we take off Ruben Reyes for John Price. Lloyd will go into centre midfield there. In fact, actually, we'll leave that as it was because Price was just as good. And then at the back, do I take off one of the centre halves? Jerome Kelly, I think. Mackenzie will come on for him. I mean, let's be honest. Mackenzie is not getting as much football as he deserves. Kelly has to go on big international trips. It makes sense. 20 minutes to go. We're 3-0 up. We know we're comfortably going to win the tie. And we know we're going to be lifting the first trophy of the season. So we might as well just enjoy the occasion. Into 3 minutes of stoppage time we go. There is nobody stopping us here. Barrytown United 0. Bangor City 3. The first trophy is here. The League Cup is won for the umpteenth time in succession. Who's going to lift it? It's Harvey Lloyd who's up there. But what a moment for Bangor City Football Club. It's going to be hard when the other side start reaching the European group stages because they are going to improve their squad somewhat. And we're going to be left with a challenge which we haven't had for a few years. We had a couple where TNS were really pushing us for the title in the middle. And that's going to start happening again soon. Well, surely it will if they get to the group stages and get that 2.5 million in. So I'm really intrigued to see what happens there. But today, 2 really efficient wins. A comfortable win in the League Cup final. And we made pretty light work of TNS too. So let's go and have a look at the schedule. Of course, the league split has now been sorted. So let's see how the fixtures line up and which ones we're going to come back for. You can always enjoy a cup final more when the job's done in 20 minutes. That's a good sign as well. We've got 71,000 for winning in the League Cup final against Barry. The TV broadcast rights were above 100 grand for the first time this year as well. Kyo Bulkley's the star as he so often is in the big games. I mean, he just keeps improving so quickly. Got a great personality. Should be a wonder kid in my eyes. But we've done as well as we can there. We've got a trophy under our belts. And we continue to improve. I mean, in terms of the nationality, or in this nation, I should say, we must have the best Hall of Fame record now. We're top by a long way. 12 domestic divisions, 11 of them the Welsh Prem, 1 the North. And of course, Barrytown United ruined it the other year. We've got 9 Welsh Cup wins, 9 League Cup wins. Considering we didn't win a Welsh Cup for 4 years. And now, bar one, we've won it every single season. So let's go and have a look at the schedule. We've of course got the rest of the January transfer window to get for. Will be big for the rest of the nation. I think we've got to come back for the first leg of Real Madrid, haven't we? We've got Cardiff Met Uni just before it, who gave us a scare earlier on in the season. But I can't play Real Madrid and not show you. Those 2 legs are going to be some of the biggest occasions we've had in this save. So we'll get through the rest of this month. We'll hopefully get through some SPFL Trust Trophy ties. And we will be back for Real Madrid on the 21st of February. We'll play one of the games either side of it. It's going to be a massive, massive occasion. And it's going to be history. We've never reached this stage. We've never got to the Champions League knockouts. I'm sure we're going to get a heavy beating in both legs. but I'm going to have a smile on my face the whole time. If you're looking forward to it and you did enjoy this episode, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 videos from 2 long-term stories. We're coming towards the end in the head coach. You can catch up with our latest international management stint up in the eye above. There's also a link there to the new food channel and the Twitch channel too. We're going to be starting our regular watch-along football streams next month, so please do come and follow us over there if you haven't already. There's going to be lots of fun and there's going to be lots of chance to chat FM and football, so I'd love to see you along. But a big thanks for watching, for following along as always. Welsh football is almost there, and we're just waiting for the excitement of next season now. We'll be back next time round for history in the making. Fingers crossed, I'll see you there too. Thanks for watching.